This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the 4th episode of Loki on Disney+. We're also getting hyped for the release of the first Marvel movie in 2 years, Black Widow.
Geek Boner.
They're still making Transformers movies. Star Wars gets an anime anthology, and the Spider-Man No Way Home toys give us a look at some new Spidey suits. All that and more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, July 5th, 2021.
This is Jason Mewes, and for reasons best left between you and your therapist, you're listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Snooch to the nooch. Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
We jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Hey, what's happening, listener? Welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
Rug Boy is not with us this week.
Lame.
I know.
We have disposed of Rug Boy. There is a hand that no longer is in that man's slack hole.
The hand is free.
That hand is free, and it has decided to invade another person's slack hole.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, our guest here.
Yes. Well, I was going to go with the story that I left the gate open and Rug Boy got out. And he's not back yet, but he's.
I wanted to go with the hand deciding that this little puppet was no longer fun to play with.
The hand wants to be inside a new sentient object. Well, that takes us to our
hand, the disenchanted hand from above.
Is Pop maybe inside our special guest for this episode? You guys, he is a NCAA coach of the swimming. He is a director of the aquatics.
NCAA coach of the swimming.
He representing the Jock and Nerd Nation, longtime listener, Patreon supporter. You know him, you love him. Blake Braden joining us this episode. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, guys? I'm doing well. You think I'm the Rug Boy variant this week?
Yes, there you go. He's variant Rug Boy.
Variant Rug Boy.
I know you've been on my show, the spinoff, which no longer occurs because I'm just lazy.
It might come back.
But maybe it'll come back. But you've never been on Jock and Nerd, or have you?
First time.
I don't remember.
First time. Yeah, absolutely.
First time caller.
Let me give you that.
Play the first time caller tag.
First time caller.
The fuck?
I don't know. I don't have one.
The fuck?
Not funny.
There's the first time caller. No, thank you so much for joining us, Blake. First time on the show. You know, you're always posting great things in the nation. I feel like everybody knows you. You're great friend and listener. Very excited to have you here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on today.
Yahoo! So he's going to do his best to fill in Rug Boy's small shoes. It's small shoes to fill. Let's be honest. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
he doesn't really have much to do. I mean, he just has to not like anything that happens.
Not like anything.
Not like anything. Be very long-winded about his opinions and have Imran interrupt him, and I think we'll be good to go. And then you have to, like, at the end when you're talking about what are we watching, you have to say the most obscure things that no one else is watching.
I watched this anime, and it's in the Dutch language for some reason. You can only find it in this one corner of the alley.
I watched this Indonesian kaiju movie. It was pretty good, actually.
There is an Alaskan ghost movie that's really good. Anyways, enough of that bullshit. Let's get to some real bullshit news.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
And really, the only thing to be
Geek Boner
excited about this week, of course, is the release of Black Widow, the first Marvel movie in 2 years. Spider-Man Far From Home came out July 2019.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Isn't that crazy?
This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Currently, Black Widow on Rotten Tomatoes is sitting at 82%. With 168 reviews, 7 out of 10 average rating. Let me gauge your excitement. Blake Braden, you're our guest. How excited are you to finally see a Marvel movie?
I'm pretty excited. It's been a while. Like you said, 2 years. So the anticipation is building, and I'm really excited to actually see some MCU action again, other than I don't know, the TV shows.
I mean, we've been getting the Disney Plus shows, which has been satisfying. It's
Blake,
give me the hit.
Are you going to go to a theater?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, sweet.
Absolutely. I really don't want to pay $30.
Anthony, this has been pre-ordered for us on Disney Plus already. They got my $30.
I don't think, but it releases at midnight, right?
I don't know, midnight Friday? Or like 2 a.m. They do. So, it depends, West Coast. I don't know. I'm going to go to a theater Thursday night. Oh, is there a Thursday? It will come out Thursday.
They're doing the Thursday showing in the theaters.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can't wait. I have to see it.
Shit. Yeah.
And not that I'm actually like particularly excited about this movie, because I'm actually really not. I'm just like, it's the next Marvel movie. I'll see it. It's been 2 years in terms of movies, but I feel like I've been getting my Marvel fill weekly for weeks upon weeks now. So that being a thing now with the TV shows has made me a little less excited about Black Widow. Also, Black Widow's not my most favorite character. I'm glad she's getting a movie because I think it's well deserved for Scarlett Johansson, and I think it'll be a good movie. But personally, I'm just more or less I want to see the next chapter in the journey of the MCU.
Even though it's a prequel,
I have to check the box and see Black Widow.
Of course. And even though we know it's a prequel, it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War.
Yeah.
But can it live up to the anticipation of, like, we haven't had a Marvel movie? I've seen actually kind of mixed reviews. So
yeah, I've seen the same thing.
Right. So I'm trying to, like, I'm excited to see another Marvel chapter, but we're getting the chapters on Disney Plus. So it's going to be interesting. Apparently there is a post-credit scene, but it's like all the way at the end of the credits, which makes me wonder when they shot this. We know this is a prequel. Scarlett Johansson may be done as Black Widow. She's producing this movie.
I think she's done. I think this is the baton handoff to
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, and which she'll be in the Hawkeye series.
Yep.
So we'll get a new Black Widow.
And I think what that character from Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be in this.
Which one? Oh, U.S. Agent?
Lady girl.
The
old lady.
Valentina, the Countess.
Valentina, yeah.
So that was the one thing Feige said is, like, the one thing that got messed up in Phase 4 because of the pandemic was this Valentina Easter egg that was supposed to be in Black Widow, that was supposed to come out before. They flipped it. So, and that also leaves me wondering about the post-credit scene. Like, they could have filmed at any point. And so did they do enough work on the next movie that we're going to see it'll be a teaser for another movie entirely and nothing to do with Black Widow?
I don't know. I think I'm really excited to see Florence Pugh. I love the work that she's done. I liked Midsommar. I know that was very
it's a weird movie, isn't it?
Weird, very strange, but she did a great job, and everything else she's been in. I'm excited to see her maybe, like, carry the baton. I think she's a great actress.
I watched some reviews, which I usually don't do.
Yeah, I'm trying
in anticipation of a movie.
Yeah.
But I did hear that she's very good in this movie. And the only movie, not ironically, but kind of weird, the only movie I've seen Florence Pugh in, Little Women.
Oh, she was in that too. Yeah,
I've seen Little Women, and
Oscar
she's
Anthony.
Good. That was Oscar Anthony. That was Oscar Anthony. That's an old person. I haven't seen I haven't watched In the Heights or anything. Any Oscar movies right now, but Florence Pugh, she was good in that. So I like Florence Pugh.
And then the other crazy thing this week is this Black Widow movie got another little social media buzz from the most unexpected place, namely actor Stephen Dorff. You guys know the Stephen Dorff from Blade. He was in the second season of HBO's True Detective. I did not watch that. Apparently, he was good in that.
Wasn't that the worst season? Wasn't the first season really good? The second season was like shit.
Yeah, the second season was shit, and then the third season was better, and he was in yes, you're right. I think he was in the shit second season. Anyways, the first season was great. But he was talking to The Independent, and you know how we think everybody wants to be in a Marvel movie? Well, not the Stephen Dorff so much. This is what he said. He goes, quote, "I still hunt out the good shit because I don't want to be in Black Widow. It looks like garbage to me. It looks like a bad video game. I'm embarrassed for those people." He goes on to say, "I'm embarrassed for Scarlett. I'm sure she got paid $5-7 million, but I'm embarrassed for her. I don't want to be in those movies. I really don't. I'll find that kid director that's going to be the next Kubrick, and I'll act for him instead." Wow, Stephen Dorff, you think you're that good? Blade kind of looked like a bad video game movie. If you want to mention bad video game movies.
If you read the article, he just bashes the Oscars too. He says
really?
The Oscars are the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. You have filmmakers that have no clue what they're doing. I'm like,
oh my God, what is he like then? He doesn't like the mainstream blockbuster?
I think he just comes off very angry.
Well, I've read articles about that Blade set where, I mean, you've got Wesley Snipes, who's obviously hard to work with, and Dorff's hard to work with as well. I couldn't imagine being a director.
Oh God,
on that film. I feel bad for I can't remember who directed. I know Guillermo del Toro directed the second one.
He was Deacon Frost in that first one, directed by Stephen Norrington. But yeah, I can't imagine having Wesley Snipes and Stephen Dorff.
This is tough coming from Stephen Dorff.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. What are you doing? You're making commercials for blue e-cigarette vapes? What the fuck are you doing? Aside from that, he's been in a bunch of movies that nobody's ever heard of right here the past few years.
Yeah, I don't think the next Stanley Kubrick is seeking out Stephen Dorff.
I doubt it.
He's basing it all on like. He said in the thing, he's basing it off the 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, I don't think he's seen the movie.
Oh, and he definitely hasn't seen the movie.
He literally said, I made my decision off that trailer I saw.
What a dummy.
How can you do that?
Meanwhile, great fucking buzz for Black Widow. Now, trending even more. Thanks, Stephen Dorff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the woke people be like, he's sexist as fuck. He hates women. So, like.
No, I just think he's jealous that he's not been offered a $5 million movie. You know,
he just comes off very bitter.
Yeah, this screams sour grapes.
Yeah. Bitter much, Dorff. Back to your e-cigs. Anyways, listener, let us know what you think about Stephen Dorff. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. It's an exclusive closed group just for you, just for us. We're all in there. Blake's been in there since 2018, Blake.
Oh, God,
he's been in there.
Oh, he's been all up in there. And you always post great things, and I always appreciate it. Great conversation. Everyone's cool. I want to welcome new member Rob Dickerson.
Jock and Nerd.
He's actually friends of Matt Delhauer, Peter Kendall, the whole crew over there at How Do I Jump gaming website. So thanks for joining us, Rob.
Sweet. Good to see new members.
Hey, thanks, Rob. I love that the welcome John Bellotti gave him.
Yes. Yes, you're going to get a harsh welcome because people are, and it's not me. They just get in and I just welcome them. I'm not hitting a button, Bellotti. Relax. It's fine. But look. Bellotti has one job, and I take it away from him. I understand. It can be frustrating.
I feel like the ones that Bellotti needs to jump in on are the ones that, like, sort of answer the questions, but are, like, kind of sketchy. He needs to, jump in on those.
No, this dude is good. I can vouch for him. Here's the thing. It is the best running bit we have now. It's hilarious. It's almost like a great gag. Okay, let's move on to a couple of news stories about some beloved 80s IPs that are still being made. This first one, both of you probably don't care about. It's Master Kevin Smith's He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Revelations, coming out July 23rd. They put out another trailer that kind of shows more about the tone. There's dialogue. You hear the voices. You find out some plot points. Anthony, I know you don't care. You didn't watch it.
Watch it. Don't care.
It looks like the other one. It's fine. And Blake, tell me your He-Man history. How do you know He-Man?
Yeah, so I know He-Man from the Dolph Lundgren 80s film, and
Excellent.
I know him from Robot Chicken.
Hey, that counts.
So my knowledge is pretty superior to everyone here. So you know, no, I don't know much about He-Man.
But here, look, it's an amazing thing, kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This property that started as a toy in the 80s just to sell toys. It's still been around over 30 years. Still has fans wanting stuff. So I like this trailer. The animation looks solid. The whole thing about the magic and Eternia and Magic is Dying and how, I guess, the good side, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, they got to join together. The sword is in 2 parts. He's got to put it together. But I thought the voice acting, everything sounded really good. What'd you think, Blake, giving this a watch cold?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. I've got some time here in July, so I'm going to try it. I know it's not like an origin story, but I imagine Kevin Smith's smart enough to know that he's going to get some new audience members. So
it's Kevin Smith. It's He-Man. I gotta check it out. Anthony, He-Man would kill in a CrossFit competition. You should watch at least for that.
I don't do much CrossFit anymore.
Not anymore.
So don't care.
His snatch is amazing.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Must be all that weed he's smoking.
Yeah. Oh, Eternia weed is like the best weed. It's like
It's the performance enhancer, right?
Oh, we'll get to that. You're jumping ahead.
Sorry.
It is.
Sorry.
In certain cases, in certain industries. Okay, so the other story I got about a beloved 80s franchise is the Transformers. You guys, they're still making Transformers movies.
Are they really?
Yeah. But it's not Michael Bay, and I think they've learned their lesson from Bumblebee. And it seems like they're rebooting these movies, and it sounds like it's going to work. This next one, it will be directed by Stephen Caple Jr., who directed Creed 2. Okay. Mm-hmm. It is going to be another prequel, so they don't have to deal with what happens in the Bay movies. The movie is called Transformer Rise of the Beast, which, if you are
Geek Boner.
A Transformers fan from back in the day, that's super Geek Boner, because they used to have Transformers Beast Wars. Blake, you remember those?
I do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the Beast Wars? They were like, it wasn't the dinosaurs. They were all like animals.
No, it's just regular animals, and they had their own. I can't remember exactly the groups, the little. I don't know the villains and heroes. They have their own separate group, but I mean, it looks cool. I don't know. It's got Michael Bay attached to it. He's producing, correct?
He's producing, but they're setting this 1994, so it's a decade between. Bumblebee and the first Michael Bay Transformers movie, and it's going to take place in Brooklyn. Optimus Prime, kind of the lead here, and Optimus Primal.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to in the Heights. In the background of In the Heights, you're going to see Transformers dancing and singing on the side of a building. But Optimus Primal will be voiced by Ron Perlman, which is pretty sick. And I think the original Optimus Prime dude is going to be in there. But I feel like they took a hint from Bumblebee, which is a lovely movie. And maybe we'll say, what do you think, Anthony? Does this sound like it could save the Transformers franchise here? Prime is the lead, and
I mean, it doesn't sound. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope.
Yeah,
I will continue to beat the drum that Bumblebee was a really good movie.
Yeah,
I don't know too much. So who's this director? I don't really know.
Stephen Caple Jr. He did Creed 2. He did the Creed.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
all right. That's right. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
Stephen Caple. I mean, Creed 2 was pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't have a lot of hope, but Stephen Caple was pretty good. Bumblebee was good. Ron Perlman is pretty cool. I always liked the Beasts.
Yeah,
the Beast Wars stuff as
was
a kid.
Fun. Yeah. This is the CG version. It does.
Hopefully, they have fight scenes where you can actually tell what's going on.
Yeah, and it's not just polygons like
that's where I'm a little cautious about this because you had a more, I can't say it's grounded, but for Transformers, it was a more grounded Bumblebee story.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah,
and they had more human interaction and they had some more depth in the characters. And then all of a sudden, they're going to come out with this film where they're going to have the Beast Wars and they're going to have the regular Autobots and Decepticons. Like, I feel like they're going to go back to like the full CGI, like clusterfuck that was the last 5 films, 5 films maybe.
I'm hoping because when Bumblebee came out, I was like, fuck, they finally got this right. After all these years, you finally fucking figured out Transformers. So if you make it look like it's still a truck and car parts, apparently this is about how Optimus Prime becomes the Optimus Prime in the later movies, and he doesn't see Earth as his home. So he's and Peter Cullen is returning as the original voice of Optimus, which is Autobots roll out. It's great. So I'm hoping they finally figured out how to get it right, and this actually may be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'll watch it, but I'm gonna be very cautious going into it, just knowing the background of Transformers movies so far.
We'll always have the Michael Bay stink on it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and to just it kind of makes me a little nervous. I don't mind Optimus Prime being the main, I guess, robot.
Yeah, I like that. It's about time he's gets the lead.
I still would love to see more of the Bumblebee story and them just have done a kind of continuation with that. Maybe they will.
Yeah.
But I worry that they're going to add too many Transformers in at once.
Too many Transformers. You never think that's a bad thing, but yeah, it's a bad thing. Okay, let's move on to another thing I know Anthony gives two shits about, and that's Star Wars and anime. But I think
this is my show.
I think Blake will be excited about this. Anthony, they have announced that their Star Wars Disney Plus is doing a anime anthology series called Star Wars Visions. And they put out, it's coming this September 22nd. They put out quite an interesting special look trailer that talks to a lot of the creators, and you see a lot of the art. And it fucking looks sick, dude. The original movies heavily influenced not only by Westerns, but by Akira Kurosawa, samurai movies and Japanese movies. So it kind of fits perfectly. Does this pique your interest at all, Anthony?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, he doesn't care. Blake, are you excited for this?
I'm excited. I like the concept of having, 7 different studios or 6 different studios put their own kind of unique design into each episode. And you've got one of the studios is Astro Boy, which was awesome. I love Astro Boy.
And I think they're going to incorporate Astro Boy in one of the shorts.
I
we had
that.
to. Yeah.
But I don't watch a ton of anime, but
me neither.
I think it still looks cool. I think it's going to be a part of the lore, which I think is great
in canon. Yeah.
But I think the idea that it looks very cool as far as Star Wars. I know Anthony's not a Star Wars
Anthony.
guy.
The thing is, we've never seen kind of Star Wars like this in anime, and I can point to other.
This is going to be on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus with 7
canon.
They said they let them play inside the Star Wars mythology, do whatever they want. So I'm assuming it's canon.
Was this part of the big announcement when they did that? It was.
Thing? They mentioned Visions, and they said it was. Visions, but they had another a conference, Anime Expo Light, recently where they put out this teaser. But you can look at things like, if you guys have ever seen the Animatrix, which is an anime anthology set in the Matrix world, is fucking phenomenal. Batman had a great one. I think it was Gotham Knights. Had some Batman anime. So I do love when anime and stuff I love combine. So I'm kind of excited for this.
What was the Batman in the? Can't remember. It took place in kind of the.
There was Ninja Batman. Also.
Batman. That was fun. I thought that was great too.
That was fucking crazy. Crazy animation. Crazy Elseworld story. Batman Ninja. It was called. Yeah.
Yep.
Will you check this out, Anthony?
No.
Okay. Moving on.
No chance. It's literally, as you mentioned. Two things I don't care about.
I'm sorry, I programmed the show really bad.
Star Wars, Star Wars I care a little about. Anime, no chance. No chance.
I just picture Anthony closing his eyes as we're talking about this, 5 minutes. Just
don't worry.
I'm literally writing an email.
Oh, he's getting work.
I'm literally writing an email about a bachelor party in Austin, Texas. While you were writing.
Yeah, that sounds like a rager. We'll get to stuff he's interested in, listener. Don't worry. In the meantime, here's what you can do, listener. Visit our TeePublic shop, jockandnerd.com/shop. It's summertime. We have great summertime swag like tank tops and travel mugs and tote bags with the logo on it and with the Geek Boner on it and all these fun sayings. Sales all the time in the summer. Get your summer gear, jockandnerd.com/shop. Okay, last thing in the news. Now, we mentioned Black Widow, the first Marvel movie in 2 years, and I'm jonesing for something from Spider-Man No Way Home, which is coming out in December. I got to issue a spoiler alert here, only because before you stop, listener, if you don't want to know anything about Spider-Man No Way Home, you can skip to the next segment. I can't wait anymore. I need something. So we're going to talk about spoilers from the usual place, which is the toys. So it's not a plot point. Maybe it's just new costumes that we're going to see. But anyways, I'm going to play this.
Spoiler alert.
Of course, fucking Legos and action figures ruin everything, but there are 2 kind of cool costumes. There's a red and blue one with the big gold spider, kind of like a. Is that the Iron
one
Spider?
We kind of saw from Infinity War and
yes,
in glimpses of in Endgame and in No Way Home, or what was it? Far From Home.
Far From Home. I think it may have been tweaked a little bit, but it's like
very little bit tweaked. But that's
so like a version of the Iron Spider costume.
Sure. Yeah.
But then there's a black and gold one that's actually kind of sick.
Geek Boner.
It looks cool. He had that black costume in Europe in the last movie, but it wasn't really styled like a Spider-Man outfit. It was more like a ninja. But this one reminds me a lot of the symbiote black costume. What do you guys think of this? And are you mad that I made you look at it?
No.
Okay.
No. Go ahead, Blake.
So I like the black and gold. I actually love the black and gold one. I don't like the black and gold with the red forearms and red fingertips.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on.
That's a weird one,
there.
but the straight Funko one that shows just the straight black and gold with like the blue right over the eyebrows. I actually love that design.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like the gold, but it's all right. It works.
I mean, it's gonna be like Iron Man. Every movie's gonna have a different suit, so that's kind of what you have to expect.
Gotta have a new suit, Anthony.
Gotta have
Thoughts on the new suit?
I mean, the black and gold one, or not the black and gold, the blue, gold, and red one that we kind of already seen.
Right. Yeah.
It looks okay. I don't really. I'm not the biggest fan of the gold on there. The black and gold one, I'm getting like some Power Ranger vibes out of this one.
Totally, yeah.
You know, I think with the White Ranger with the gold trim and black. But
that's interesting.
I guess I'll see. I guess I'll see how it plays out on screen. I'm curious why he's wearing a black and gold costume like that.
Yeah. My favorite thing is there's a J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson action figure. Holy shit! I want that. That's great. Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
So my question is, on the Funko one, the first Funko one, he's got like the Doctor Strange thing going on.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little bit spoilery. So here's what I think is going to happen is like they can't make a Spider-Man movie with just Spider-Man. So Doctor Strange is not going to be the Iron Man mentor, whatever. Give him the magic doohickey he needs at the time he needs it because Peter Parker can't do anything on his own.
Can he just like give him the power? I didn't think that's how it worked. I maybe it is, but it just looks like he kind of gives him the power.
Yeah, that Funko, you're right, has the like Doctor Strange logos all over him.
Yeah.
And then there's a shot of Doctor Strange having like a shovel and
I don't know if the shovel's
Uggs.
going on there.
Yeah,
or like not Uggs, but Tim's or something like snow boots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is all? These are all spoilers. Jesus Christ, what is going on? Is he gonna bury somebody? He's gonna dig a grave?
But what's with the shoes?
Yeah, he's got like Timberlands on, or
obviously
he's got like snow Timberlands on.
And his jacket's like thick, so they're somewhere cold. Obviously,
they're
somewhere cold.
It takes place in Christmas, I believe. It's all like winter
There
time.
we go. Okay. There we go.
The movie is going to be during the Christmas time because it is in December. So let's end with this. Here's a rundown of all the superhero movies from Marvel and other places and TV shows we are getting for the rest of this year. I want to know, what are you most excited for? What are you least excited for? We have Black Widow, of course, this week, July 9th. The Suicide Squad, James Gunn, comes out August 6th, a month from that. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, the next month, September 3rd. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the end of September 24th. Eternals will take us into November 5th. Jesus, there's something every month. And then closing the year with Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th. And this is in addition to the What If series on Disney Plus that will be out August 6th, and Hawkeye and Miss Marvel TV show on Disney Plus. That is a lot of shit.
Geek boner.
And I'm just going to say I need Spider-Man that I think is going to be special December, end of the year. For me, that's going to be the big one. That's what I'm most excited for. Least excited for, maybe What If. I don't know. Or Venom. Anthony.
Venom.
I don't know. I'm excited for Venom.
Count Venom?
I did. I counted Venom in there. I'm just counting all the superhero properties that are coming out. From Sony, from DC. That's everybody.
Suicide
DC.
Squad's in there too. Yeah.
Suicide Squad's in there too. I'm just saying everything.
Oh, including DC.
Yeah, I included DC and Sony. Anthony, what are you most / least excited for?
I guess least excited for
Black Widow.
It might be Black Widow, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it is Black Widow. In terms of Marvel, I wasn't even thinking. I don't really have DC on my radar.
Come on, that Suicide Squad movie looks amazingly fun. I can't wait for that.
I wouldn't say I'm excited for it, but I'm not unexcited for it.
Okay.
I guess, probably Black Widow, maybe What If, but I kind of like the idea of What If. I just wish animation is a little different, but we'll see. Most excited for, I would go. It's a tie right now, and this can always change, but it's a tie right now for me with Shang-Chi and Spider-Man.
Oh wow! Okay, I thought you were going to say Eternals. Okay,
well, just because of Shang-Chi, because obvious reasons,
martial arts.
Well, no, just more the Asian thing.
Oh yeah,
that whole Asian thing. And it just looks fucking
crazy,
cool.
Rich, superpowered Asians. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And then Spider-Man, I'm still excited about the possibility of it being like this multiversal trip with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire showing up.
It's the next time we're going to see multiverse stuff.
Even though they might not show up.
They're going to. Everybody's in this movie. Everybody's in this fucking movie. And it is the next like multiversal trippy thing we're going to get after Loki. Really, Blake, least excited for? What
yes. Least excited for, you know what? The Venom, Morbius, that franchise, that universe, it's so broken still that I can't get excited until they start putting some pieces together.
They won't. But
I know.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it, I'll go see it, but it doesn't thrill me because there's nothing moving forward as far as like putting all these pieces together.
Oh, it's going to be a mess of a clusterfuck movie, but I'm going to watch it anyway.
And then I'm most excited. I have a tie, so I have an explanation for this one too. So I'm really excited for the Eternals, and the reason for it is it's still such a mystery to me. Yeah. Like Black Widow, we know the story, we know the key concepts of it. Suicide Squad, they've basically given us the entire story. Shang-Chi, the entire story. I know more about Venom than I do about Eternals. So I just don't know much about it, which gets me more excited, I guess. The mystery behind the idea of the movie. And trusting Marvel, knowing that, hey, mostly everything else they've put out has been good. So I'm really excited for that. And then Spider-Man 3, I'm excited with put the new and the old, the retro 2010 shit. It's not really that
dude,
old.
It is kind of retro.
The early 2000s were 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
that's a long time ago.
Bringing the old and the new together, I think that's awesome. I'm so excited for that. I like What If too. I'm in love with the What If comic book. But I can't put it on my most excited if I've already got Eternals and Spider-Man 3 on there.
And I'll also, of course, put Miss Marvel up there, but I
thought that was going to be your first choice.
No, because I don't know the tone
because you just don't want to jump into that stereotype.
It doesn't have Kumail and Johnny in it, but it has Pakistani representation.
It's been a few weeks now where we've been giving you shit about liking things that are just purely Muslim.
Listen, I'm also like an immigrant, son of an immigrant Pakistani family, came to this country. I just didn't get superpowers. It's very similar. No, but honestly, I think Spider-Man 3 is going to be fucking big the end of this year. So we should be getting more trailers for Eternals and Spider-Man 3. Maybe when Black Widow comes out, maybe they put out a trailer with that because they got 2 Shang-Chi trailers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Right? When do you think the Spider-Man 3 trailer is going to come out? Do you think it's going to come out with Black Widow, or do you think it's going to come out later like with Venom because it's technically...
Sony. Oh, son of a bitch. You know what? That is a good point because it is more of a Sony joint than an MCU joint in terms of the marketing, especially. They're probably letting them call the shots on the marketing, and they're like, we don't want to give Black Widow. I think it would have been smart to put it in front of Black Widow to force people to go see it, not put it out, But
when is Venom supposed to come out?
September 24th. Let there be carnage. There will be carnage.
Yeah, that one I agree with Blake. Where that one's just so off my radar, and I don't know how that even interacts with anything.
No, yeah,
I mean they did the tease early on where it's like this is clearly connected. We have Michael Keaton's Vulture in this, and I'm still just like, no, you don't. But even though they do, I'm like, it's. I don't know.
Also, is it going to tie into what the fuck happens in Spider-Man 3 in the multiverse and like what the fuck is going on? Will we see something there? First in September that hints at this before we even get to Spider-Man. Blake, you might be right. They may wait till Venom after Shang-Chi's out.
October, November. That's 2.5 months before the movie.
So that makes, I think 2.5 months. I think it's been compacted. Like they're waiting 2 to 3 months now instead of 6 months because and like next year there's 10 movies on the fucking docket from superhero movies from everybody alone in 2022. So. Lot to look forward to, listener. Let's take a quick break here, play some promos. You can look forward to this. We're going to talk about the latest episode of Loki right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
I see the potential for basically like another Netflix kind of paradigm shift where here comes this other major player. They have a ton of resources. Apple could change the way that entertainment is consumed.
They say it's the only time this year that you'll have stars from each brand battling each other, and we know it's not going to be the case, but they like to say that, and more power to them, I guess.
Well, it's a big first step, bringing all those superheroes together. There were definitely some parts of the movie that I really enjoyed, and then there were some parts that I thought just kind of fell short of expectation.
Part of it has to be something to do with how it's being promoted. And this is a thing where audiences do not agree with critics.
That's the Pop Culture Cosmos Show.
And the PCC Multiverse, every week on Apple Podcasts.
And over a dozen of your favorite streaming and podcasting options.
Transmission commencing.
This is Wookiee Radio.
Translated for the Wookiee impaired. I like that Wookiee.
Your hosts, Ken, Derek, and Mike, bring you the latest news and commentary from the far reaches of the galaxy.
Hold it. Hold it. I said hold it.
Subscribe today on iTunes and Stitcher.
I just assumed he's a Wookiee.
Start listening today, and remember,
the Force will be with you, always.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, this is a great time to join our fan club and show your love and support the show.
Show your love.
Show your love. Show me that love. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
To sign up to support the show on a monthly or annual basis. You get bonus things. You get swag, and everybody for as little as $3 a month gets access to a bonus RSS feed, the real RSS feed where the show comes out early and there's instant reactions and hours of bonus things to listen to. And as we mentioned in the past, now $5 and up patrons get Discord benefits, which is that thing where we all hang out in a chat room. It's not creepy at all. It's become a lot more sophisticated. And we did the one hangout. Blake, you were there with us. Thank you so much for being a guinea pig for that.
Yeah, it was a blast. I enjoyed it.
See, Blake had fun. You'll have fun too. I think, Anthony, I'll go over this with Rug Boy. I'm just kind of making this up off the top of my head, but the last Thursday of every month, I thought would be a fun time to do a little hangout.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Thanksgiving. Sometimes it's 4 weeks. Sometimes it's 5 weeks. Anyways, listener.
Sure.
Tentatively mark down Blake. Mark down. Anthony's not going to be there. Blake, mark down Thursday, July 29th.
Jock and Nerd.
For a possible another. I'll have stuff to do. We'll watch videos. It'll be lots of fun. You can hang out with us.
Watch videos.
Yeah, we'll watch the YouTube videos together and comment on them. Also, I got to thank Blake, because Blake, you have been a patron of ours for 41 months.
Oh, shit.
That's an awful lot of love, Imran.
That's great love.
An awful lot of love.
Well, can't thank you enough. We did for you. So, listener, if you sign up for $10 a month or more, you get to pick any movie to force us to watch and review. Lots of fun. For Blake, we did The Crow, fantastic fucking movie, and Nobody recently, which was also 2 great movies, Blake. Good picks.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were both good.
Right? We had a
pleasant
great time.
Surprises for both of them.
I love The fucking Crow, man. That's my jam right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you review what was it, Street Trash or
Street Trash was a good one.
Whatever that movie was called.
Wolf Cop.
Wolf Cop. I'm not gonna make you do any of that stuff. That's for
other people.
The other people.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't know if anyone else appreciates it, but I really appreciate it.
Personally, what happens is when you guys do a review, a Patreon review, I watch the movie after I listen to the podcast. So, unfortunately, I would also like to watch quality movies. I don't know Wolf Cop or Street Trash.
Both of those you never need to watch.
Yeah, just listen to the show. We saved you the fucking torture.
Street Trash is God. That's
I watched them both. That's the problem.
You did?
I always watch them, no matter what they are. So I like good movies. Yeah, I watch them.
Unbelievable.
Well, let's get your quick thoughts on. Let's just do Street Trash. What did you think of Street Trash?
So it's there's not really a plot. I mean, there's a plot, but it jumps so much, and it. You gave it a half star. I can't even give it any star. I can't give it any rating. It's not serving up a half star.
Yeah.
Come on, the melt effects alone should give it 1 star.
I think I gave it 0.5 out of 10, and I gave it 0.5 because it exists as a movie. I don't think I can give in my mind, I can't give a 0. So
I gave it a 0. That's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. I'm glad I watched it once, and that's once is enough. But look, listener, fun stuff like that. Join the Patreon. You can make us do things when you give us money. I'll come to your house. jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
No, you don't want that. You know what? All right, let's get into this week's review, fellas. Loki episode 4, titled 4 of 6, only 2 left. This one titled The Nexus Event. Here are your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Anthony, I'm going to test you now on how hard you raged this past holiday for the July weekend. What was this episode about? What happens?
Well, as we left off in the last episode, Loki and Sylvie are on Lamentus 1, and this planet is about to explode, and the TVA is still looking for them. And while they're looking for them, Loki and Sylvie start to fall in love.
Oh.
And this causes a huge spike, and that's how the TVA finds them. And in this episode, we learn that the TVA, even more so than we already knew, is not what they think they are, or not what we think they are.
Nope.
As they killed the C-20. It looks like they're hiding the fact that they killed C-20 because she's remembering who she really is. And the other variant, I forget her name.
Hunter B-15.
Hunter B-15 is very suspicious, and Mobius is starting to get very suspicious because of what Loki's been telling him.
You're all variants.
And all of this is coming to a head, and the TVA is unwinding, and we even meet the motherfucking timekeepers.
Yes, we do.
We see the secret behind them as well, or see at least a little taste of what is going on with them. So I'll leave it at there.
Yeah, crazy episode, lot of reveals. Blake,
post-credit scene too.
Oh yes, and a mid-credit scene that's very important. We'll get to all of this. Blake, what do you think of the show so far, and what do you think of this episode?
So I really like this series. I like the first 2 episodes. I love the 4th episode. The 3rd one, to me, you guys talked about it was short.
Yeah,
it didn't really progress much until the very end when they talked about how everyone was a variant. But I absolutely love this episode. I was so many emotions going through this. You got some funny parts, and then I actually was like in shock with the last 10 minutes of this episode. Like everything that happened in the last 10, 15 minutes, just incredible. I love the color schemes that go on throughout. They got the orange kind of TVA setting, and you've got the purple and Lamentus one. I love the color schemes in each area that they go to. I absolutely loved where this episode's going. It kind of progressed the story, and I love putting I can't think of his name, Mobius and Loki. I love their conversations.
Well, that's the best,
the best part ever.
Just
in this
them
series.
sitting down.
Absolutely.
Some devastating prunings. Anthony, did these prunings get you in the feels? Some of them, or
you know what? I actually don't think they did a great job with the prunings because they were so out of nowhere. Like I felt like Mobius's one. I was like, oh man, like this should be a sad moment, but it was so out of nowhere. I was like,
I was shocked. I was like, oh shit. Oh,
I was just
Mobius.
like, I was more just like, well, that was shocking, but now this makes me think that the prunings aren't a thing. Like they aren't. There's something going on
of
here, right?
undercut the prunings, because I did notice throughout the whole show they're very liberal with the prunings. Like just the random dude in line, they would just zap him out of existence for no reason.
You're done.
I was like, man, you guys will zap anyway. Jesus Christ! So maybe as we find out in the mid-credit scene, you go somewhere else to another timeline.
Somewhere else. Yeah, that's what
I was shocked with the Mobius pruning, but then when they did it with Loki, spoilers.
We already pressed that button.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, all right, that's okay. They're coming back, but the Mobius one actually shocked me.
They did. That one got me. Loki's didn't get me as much.
I'm like, oh, they're all coming back if they're just gonna like prune everyone at that point.
I definitely think there's a bunch of Mobiuses, but the look in Loki's face, because he was standing right next to him, and it was after the moment that Mobius finally believed him and got the evidence.
Well, Loki's like he's like, I just have to trust a bunch of Lokis, and Loki
I gotta
says
trust
something
2
along
Lokis.
He's like, how about a friend?
Yeah.
So like they clearly like connected at that point.
He was on Team Loki finally.
Yep. Well, they kind of foreshadowed the multiple Mobiuses in the first episode where he walks into what's her name?
Ravonna. Yeah, the rings on the
rings
table.
on the table. He didn't remember having those there, so
that is from
kind
him.
of foreshadowing potentially that.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
and the pen too. He looks at that pen again.
Yeah.
And puts it down, and those rings may have been from how many Mobiuses have there been? So
it sounds like the TVA has been pruning people whenever they start to get wind of what's going on.
Ravonna has been keeping the secret, but I do question how much she knew exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she knew that the timekeepers are fucking robots. That they were robots. They're machines. They're androids, which is hilarious. They look like animatronics from the fucking Disney park.
Someone put online, one of my friends put out there, like, basically, man, like when his first reaction was, man, these these timekeepers really look fake.
Yeah, they're so goofy looking.
That's
why.
just Disney trolling us. They are fake.
Yeah, one of them had a fucking walrus mustache. It was hilarious. Did you see that shit?
I was remembering back to like my 8th birthday party. I was like, motherfucker, this is the band from Chuck E. Cheese.
They Chuck E. Cheesed
That's
it.
what it looked like. Oh my God,
They
damn it.
fucking Chuck E. Cheesed it. And I didn't think we would get to see them in the laser pattern behind them was kind of interesting. And he also noticed the
It
MC.
kind of reminded me when I first saw them when they were standing up there. It kind of reminded me of Gozer and the Ghostbusters.
Oh my God! Yes,
the triangle.
Yes.
And the smoke kind of all kind of like coming down. Yeah,
and it's kind of the similar color
Only
scheme too.
Zool. Did you say Zool? Yeah. Are you the gatekeeper?
I had to put on the captions from two of the TV or timekeepers. I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah, mumble. That's because they're robots. It's a mumble fucking mouth. It's got a mumble mouth. So that was clearly. So some of this episode seemed predictable to me. Like I knew they were going to find them right away, and I called this. They're going to have a Wizard of Oz moment, and they had their Wizard of Oz moment. So the question is, who is really pulling the strings?
Who's behind the curtain?
Who is behind the curtain? There's a couple of people.
Kang.
Kang is one of them. Kang is one of them.
I don't believe that Kang will be introduced in this series. I don't see.
Well, then I think all signs after that mid-credit scene will point to yet another Loki.
I think that's
variant.
the case. I think it's a bad Loki variant.
Okay, well, let's talk about that mid-credit scene where you see him get pruned, and then Sylvie doesn't kill Ravonna. Instead, she's like, "I want you to tell me everything."
Well, first off, what gets to that point is Loki's falling in love with himself.
Well,
basically,
is it
which
romantic?
is the most appropriate thing.
I don't know if it's romantic or more that he found that he has family, someone he can care for.
I
don't
look
know
at
if
it as just Loki is just. He's so self-absorbed, that he would just fall in love with a version
himself.
of himself.
Yeah, that's super narcissistic. And I love the idea that if two Lokis join forces and fall in love, that is the
that breaks
ultimate.
everything.
That will break all reality. That's
when an Imran falls in love with a woman version of Imran.
That's not supposed to happen.
That breaks everything.
That's not supposed to happen.
I mean, the way he was looking at her and his voice, like you can actually hear his voice like cracking when he's talking to her at the end there. I'm like, that's not someone that's like looking at quote a family member.
No,
but
hold on. I'll argue because I was like, does he lean in for a kiss? Is there any intimation? All he does is he grabs her arms, and I like if he grabbed her face, that would have been one thing. He grabs the side of her arms, and he's about to tell her.
Blake.
I don't know.
I think he was grabbing her, and he was like he didn't know what to say, and he was going to go for the kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll find out. But yeah, that is a time breaking event, and you fall in love with yourself. So mid-credit scene, he wakes up and he's like, "Am I in hell?" And in the captions, it says HEL. Yeah, which is one of the realms of Asgard, right? Where what's her name is his sister, where she lived.
Hera. Is it Hera?
Yeah, he's like, "Am I in hell? Am I dead?" And you hear Richard E. Grant's voice go, "No, but you will be if you don't come with us." And we see a shot of 4 fucking Lokis. It looks like 3, but there's 4 of them. You have Richard E. Grant as classic old Loki in his classic costume from the comics, his first appearance. You got Kid Loki. You have a dude that's supposed to be Worthy Loki or
Boastful Loki.
Boastful Loki, who is worthy. He was holding the Mjolnir.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think in the comics it's a woman, and so they made it a big black guy in this one. And then Kid Loki is holding fucking Crocodile Loki?
Crocodile or an alligator,
Loki, which is like Frog Thor.
Alligator Loki.
It reminded me of Frog Thor. Throg, I believe, is Frog Thor. So maybe he's from that universe. So, and then in the background, you see a destroyed New York City, a ruined Avengers Tower, and they've just introduced another young Avenger in Kid Loki. What'd you guys make of this scene?
I was shocked. I obviously, again, they've been foreshadowing Loki's since the first episode, multiple ones. I just didn't think they were actually going to show any actual Loki's. And I didn't see until I watched a video after I watched the episode. I didn't see the Avengers Tower in the background. I was so caught up and looking at Richard Grant's just awful costume. But it's funny though. But I was just caught up in looking at that. I had to go watch it again.
Yeah, it's there.
But I was shocked about that. I knew he was going to go somewhere, but I didn't expect New York. and I didn't expect between 2012 and 2015 or something.
Is this a timeline where the Avengers don't win?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're hinting at is that this is a Loki version of Loki that won. I would say I was just like, oh, like this is I like in my head I was like, oh, this kind of makes sense. They're going to go to this path where it's just Loki's everywhere, and so I was more not like shocked. I was just more like, okay, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I like the different versions of Loki. It seems like this whole show is about Loki really and his place in the universe, and we're learning that in the multiverse there's a shit ton of them, and they have an important place in this universe. I think that we're going to find out by the end of this that Loki's very pivotal to everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the Marvel.
And I'm wondering which Loki survives at the end. Like, will we still have this Hiddleston 2012 variant Loki?
And keep in mind, this version of Loki, well, not this one, but the version we've gotten to learn prior to this series is responsible for creating the Avengers.
Yeah, well, that was right. That's
so,
his,
like,
was his
I
purpose.
think every Loki is important to their universe.
But, the other Loki did get redeemed at the end of Endgame, and, like, this guy is getting redeemed here, and you're seeing him, discover and admit, the whole time loop bit with Jamie Alexander and Sif, that was fucking great, because we haven't seen Sif. Last time, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not in canon, but in canon, Thor the Dark World. It's the last time we saw her, and apparently she's supposed to be in Ragnarok. What'd you think of that time loop scene? He got kneed in the nuts for like 30 minutes.
I really felt bad for his nuts there. I was really feeling bad at that point.
Well, at the end, though, it was interesting. Like, he finally admits that he's like a kind of a shitty person or whatever.
He craves attention.
And then she doesn't knee him in the nuts, but she's still like, you'll always be alone.
Well, and that's the thing that's why I think it's not romantic with Sylvie. It's just him finding someone not to be alone with.
I think it's romantic.
Okay, well, and let's talk about Sylvie. I loved the more things we learned about her. Like, they show us when she gets kidnapped, when she's a child taken by the TVA, and it's Ravonna before she's a judge. And then I love that she just escapes and steals Stepdad, and but this girl's been hiding in apocalypses. She grew up in apocalypses, and we never actually find out what her Nexus event is. Will
you
that
think Ravonna doesn't remember it, or
no?
Is it,
she remembered
because
she smiled. She was fucking with her in the elevator.
Just to make her feel like shit.
Yes, she was like, "What was my Nexus event?" She goes, "You know what? I don't remember," and she smiles like she knew.
That reminded me of when Thanos confronts Scarlet Witch, and she's like, you took everything from me. He's like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
They've done that a couple times where he did that. There's also a scene in Guardians where Ronan, where Drax is like, you killed my family or something along those lines. He's like, I don't even remember killing your family because they were insignificant. It's like the ultimate like villain insult where they're like,
when you don't remember,
when they ask you what's going on, and you're like, I don't even know who you are. Like, you're nothing to me.
That's worse than the answer.
The most tragic thing in your life was a blip in my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do love when they do that in movies because it is fucking brutal.
Brutal, yeah.
The little Easter egg when Mobius is talking to B-15 and he's like, we brought in Kree, Titans, and vampires. And I'm like, oh shit. Are they setting up fucking Blade?
Yeah, Screen Crush, when I follow Screen Crush, and they're like, this is the first time Marvel's ever acknowledged vampires.
Oh, is that right?
In the MCU.
Oh, shit.
They did mention them in kind of a comedic bit. They did mention them in Ragnarok when Korg was holding the three. He was holding a spear.
Oh, right.
And said that the spear is only good if you have three vampires standing right next to each other.
Because it's going to thrust That's a great. That's just a great Taika Waititi vampire joke, which he's good at.
I do remember that is actually the first time they mentioned vampires.
Get out of here, Ghost!
Get out of here, Ghost! Against the fucking wall. Like 10 seconds after the guy leaves. I didn't make enough pamphlets for the revolution.
I can't wait to see Korg again in Love and Thunder.
It's a revolution.
He's so
another
funny.
Day, another Doug.
So funny. Doug's dead. It's so funny. So Blake,
those enforcements are no longer. What does he say? That foundation is no longer there after the planet blows up. Like, we can rebuild. It has a strong foundation. It blows up. Oh, that foundation's no longer there.
They made a joke about the death of Asgard, the destruction of Asgard,
the genocide. thousands of people.
Played it for a joke. 9,000 people. We found out. We find out in the show. It was 9,000 people.
Small planet. 9,000 people.
Yeah, that is a tight knit.
That's
community.
not even. That's less people than where Blake Braden's from.
But it's a town bigger
Southern
than
Terre Haute, Indiana. Or whatever like that.
from the Bible Belt. No, I don't know.
Close.
Like you said, Blake, when Loki and Mobius sit down and talk, it's always great. I love the moment when he lies to Loki and tells him they pruned Sylvie, and you fucking see it in his face, and fucking Mobius calls him out. And it's so good because then you do see. I can't determine.
Yeah,
if it's
so the conversation that Mobius and Loki had in that situation makes me believe even more that he is romantically in love with Sylvie because of that conversation. Because it makes sense within the episode and going along with how they started the episode off. They were holding hands, or they were kind of just like, and then moving on to the Mobius and Loki conversation, and then moving on to the very end where he's like holding her arm again in the same way that he did at the very beginning. I'm like, it really does look like more of a romantic relationship than a friendship.
Yeah, all right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What else? A couple of great lines. I did love that line where Mobius goes, "You know where I'd want to go? Maybe my old life. Maybe I had a jet ski."
Yeah. Give the man a damn jet ski.
The man wants a jet
this series is clearly going to end with him on a jet ski.
Riding off in the jet ski.
Back in the 90s, on a jet ski, going out to I Need a Hero.
Drinking Josta Cola, of
Drinking
course.
Josta Cola.
Yeah. Okay, here was a couple of questions. Let me ask you guys this. And this was,
before you get in the questions, I just have a couple small criticisms.
One of them is a criticism. Maybe it's the same. What is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I still think the CGI at times is a little spotty. And I've come to determine that the fight scenes are really bad.
They're not good.
They're very quick cut.
Yeah.
They're very, you don't even really see what the action is. And what makes the fight scenes even worse is I don't think the show needs them.
No, it doesn't.
The show really doesn't need fight scenes like that. Especially with people with powers. But even so, this show is much more heady and your place in the universe, a mystery. I feel like Marvel is just throwing in the fight scenes just to be it's still a superhero show, and it doesn't need to be that. It's about Loki. This is not a superhero. We don't need to see him fighting. We don't need to see the versions of Loki in hand-to-hand combat. It
seems forced. They just they're like, we have to put in some fighting. No, you don't. You don't.
It just it feels to me, and I'm going to embarrass myself here a little bit. It feels to me so when I was in high school, I was in show choir, and
nice.
we would have to learn choreography. And the very beginning of the choreography is just taking it step by step,
right,
and going very slowly through emotions. Honestly, it feels like they're in that first stage of the fighting sequence where they're like, "Okay, I'm going to put my arm up, and you smack my arm." It's very slow,
go here,
point to point, very stiff, and very slow, and it's not very well planned out. So it reminds me of that. It wasn't not much detail to it, and they just kind of okay, we're just going to put these couple fight scenes in, and we're going to quick cut, and we're only going to show you only have to do 2 moves before we actually stop and cut.
It does seem like, as you pointed out, they're just kind of making it up on the spot. They're okay, we got a fight scene here.
It's not well choreographed.
What can we do? What can we shoot in this next hour that's going to look okay?
Look, Falcon and Winter Soldier, you gave us amazing fight scenes. That shit was dope. You clearly had guys there working with you. Fantastic. You don't need to do it in this one. They're fucking gods. They are a little more elegant than just punching people.
Yeah, you don't need them. It's
here was my other criticism. What happened? So in the very beginning, they see the one Spike when they're about to kiss or hold hands or whatever the fuck. But the main timeline is clean. Didn't she set off a bunch of fucking charges? I thought that was gonna be a thing. Apparently, they went and cleaned it up off screen, and now it's done. The fuck is this?
Yeah, they built that up as a kind of a big thing.
I thought that was the catalyst of everything happening.
Yeah, me too. And you would put together a list of Easter eggs of where she had decided to set off those charges. Yeah, I think
a waste of my fucking time.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing that wasn't a thing.
So that brings up the larger thematic question of Sylvie mentions the natural state of the universe is chaos, she says. Are they hinting at that maybe the fractured multiverse timelines is how the universe actually is supposed to be, and whoever is pulling the strings of the timekeeper is keeping this one timeline selfishly together, but that's not what the universe wants. Does anybody get that feeling?
I've changed my theory. At first, I thought there was one timeline.
I don't think there is.
Now I think there's always been multiple timelines, and I think they're just trying to keep this one in check.
Yeah.
And I think this is going down to, I think this might be the evil Loki, and I still think it's potentially the version of the timeline where he exists in some way.
Yeah.
And he needs to keep it going.
And Loki said it best. He said they thrive and survive in chaos.
Yeah, they don't die. They always survive somehow.
Yeah, and they always cause chaos, and they like to be around chaos. So it makes sense that there are multiple timelines of that kind of chaos universe theory.
Another interesting detail in where the timekeepers were, which kind of looked like a laser tag arena also, right? But they had, if you notice, they had the MC Escher repeating steps that like go up and go nowhere and kind of loop around like all over the place. Which was a nice little touch. I love MC Escher. I think we'll see Mobius again. I think this is either Kang or another Loki pulling the strings.
So can I I did a little half-ass research in the time that I had.
Okay. Another good half-ass research. That's my specialty.
That's
actually.
a whole half-ass more than Anthony has ever done.
That's a course I teach.
Half-ass
at the college I teach at.
You could take this with a grain of salt, but I went on IMDb because they finally listed everyone's episode totals.
Okay.
So, and that kind of helped me figure out who's still going to be in it.
Yeah.
Who's still left. Owen Wilson's in 5 episodes, so he's going to be in the last 2.
Okay.
Oh, look at you spoiling everything.
Because there was one he wasn't in at all. That one.
Spoiler alert.
No, this is good. Go ahead. We got 2 episodes left. Shit has got to happen now.
Hunter C20's in 4 episodes. Again, this might not be true because I think in the trailers it's already kind of proved this wrong. But Hunter C40's in 4 episodes, so she's
been in 4 yet?
In one. No. She's in 1 more.
Oh, okay. She got 1 more. Oh, fuck. So, okay.
Richard E. Grant's in 3 episodes.
And you got this from IMDb?
Yeah. Yes. It tells you how many episodes. So he's going to be in the next 2 episodes.
I don't want to completely shit, but IMDb has led me astray.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
that's what I'm saying. Again, this could go either way. The kid Loki, Jack Vale, it says he's only in 1 episode. The last one. So if he's in more, then just kind of completely blow all of this off, which is possible.
Yeah.
And then the boastful Loki was supposedly only in the last episode we saw.
Okay.
The 4th.
Okay. So Richard E. Grant is a big name. I would think we're going to get more from his Loki. Absolutely.
And he's wearing the old school Loki.
Yeah, he's wearing the classic Loki. And we also, in the trailer, you've seen that clip of President Loki, which looks like this is where we see him in the trailer in a ruined city. He may be pulling the strings. We haven't seen him yet.
No, man.
So.
No, I'm interested to see what this universe is with all the Lokis
and how many. Yeah, and do other prudent people go there? Or do they go somewhere else?
Did you both watch the trailer for the last 2 episodes?
No. Is there a trailer out?
Yes, there is.
I'll watch it after the show.
Okay.
Well, I'm expecting big things in episode 5 and 6.
Okay.
More.
I won't even spoil that. It shows you a lot in the trailer, so you might not want to watch it, but.
All right.
I'm not gonna watch.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Did anyone think the theremin music in the episode gave you a very old classic Star Trek vibe?
I do love that they use theremin music in Ravona's office because and that is the beginning of Star Trek. But the theremin is just a weird instrument to listen to for fun.
Yeah,
but I love the old school 70s, the whole vibe in there, and. Hopefully they explain that pen, but I want to talk about, I want to know what the fuck is up with that pen. I do want to talk about these memes that have been popping up about the Young Avengers team because we have a whole bunch of people, dude. We got 7, 8 people we have already. Here you go. You got Wiccan and Speed from WandaVision, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just added Kid Loki, could be part of the Young Avengers.
Yep.
You have Patriot Elijah from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the dude's grandson. Kate Bishop will be introduced in the Hawkeye show. Miss Marvel will be introduced in her show. Stature is Scott Lang's kid that is grown up now, and we'll probably see her in Ant-Man 3. You got Riri Williams as Ironheart. Miss America Chavez, she's also scheduled to show up somewhere. She's been cast.
Where's she? She's in...
I don't know where she's going to pop up.
Is she in the She-Hulk?
Maybe.
No. I think she... Wait, let me just look real quick.
Yeah.
She is showing up in Doctor Strange.
Oh, she is. And then you have Shuri also. Maybe they can throw her in. But that's already like 9-10 people right there. It's amazing.
I feel like this is a good DC. I feel like this is a good Disney Plus show. I don't know if you can make it out of a movie with these actors and actresses.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's where they're going.
You think so?
They're building these into a Young Avengers
streaming series.
Streaming series.
That would make sense.
The only thing I do find kind of interesting is like they're all supposed to be really young. The actress they cast as Riri Williams is not that young.
No. Oh, really?
Well. Haley Stein. I'm googling this as we speak. Like a lot of these actors and actresses are like very young. Haley Steinfeld's 24.
Okay.
Let's see how old this.
She can still play teen.
Dominique Thorne.
Oh yeah, it's Dominique Thorne.
I don't say how old she is, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Young Avengers thing is kind of interesting.
That's going to be fun. And I also thought the Enchantress at one point was also part of the Young Avengers, but she's like older than all of them, so. I don't know.
Well, and it'll be interesting. I mean, the Young Avengers, don't they fight with Kang too?
I think so. I think he was. Yeah, I think they fought him like first, like in their first outing.
Right now, so you mentioned all the Young Avengers that we've seen. Right now, the current itineration is Iron Lad.
Okay,
which is
that kid's there too. That could be the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Well, he's Nathaniel Richards. He's the young Nathaniel Richards that becomes Kang, and then comes back and becomes Iron Lad.
Oh, fuck, that's convoluted.
Hulkling.
Hulkling.
So maybe we'll see Hulkling and She-Hulk.
Yeah, they said that we might see his kid.
Right. Oh,
shit.
So Hulkling could be there. And then Hulkling is the son of the Kree hero Captain Marvel and the Skrull Princess Anel. He's a Kree Skrull hybrid.
Oh my god, he's this Kree Skrull hybrid. He doesn't fit in on either side.
Patriot we've seen, Wiccan,
Patriot,
Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Stature. You said we're going to see
in Ant-Man.
In Ant-Man. There's a Vision.
Young Vision. It's one of his kids. It's his kid. He made kids.
Yeah. Speed, you mentioned. Kid Loki, we've seen. Miss America. Marvel Boy. Novar.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. And then Prodigy is a former X-Men.
Yeah.
Prodigy.
So we haven't seen all of them, but we've seen a decent amount.
That's not the internet service, Prodigy? Remember that? Prodigy? No, but we've seen a lot of them. They have enough here. AOL, anyone? They have enough here to put together.
They've got a show already.
A fucking fun show.
Miss Marvel actually isn't in the Young Avengers.
No, well, she's going to be in this one. Just shove her in there.
Perhaps. You wouldn't want to see a movie of this, though, Blake? You think this is more a TV show?
I don't think there's enough star power to put it on the screen. Yeah, it's probably a TV show.
That's the thing. All these characters have to be introduced, and you got to like them, and they're all kind of unknown people, aside from like your Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld's probably the biggest.
Yeah.
Other than who's the one that plays Ant-Man's?
What was her name?
She starred in Freaky. That horror movie lately. Yeah.
Not Cassie Lang. I forgot her name. Cassie Lang. She was recast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the actress is Emma Fuhrman, Catherine Newton. Which one of these is it?
Catherine Newton.
Catherine Newton is the new one.
She replaced Emma Fuhrman.
Okay, yes. And of course, we know like it's been 5 years, so she's like 50 now after the snap or whatever. So she grew up while Paul Rudd was away.
She grew up I mean, not to completely digress this, but in Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man, like his kid Cassie Lang was like a little child.
Right.
He was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
And then 5 years pass, and she's like 16.
Yes, like a teenager. Hey, time works differently at the TVA.
Time works differently.
Okay, let's do some news from the nation. Somebody has to fart. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
Get the fuck out of here. It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Well done. That's very comparable to a Rug Boy flatulence. Even though he's not here, he's here.
Lame.
Yeah. Rugs will always be with us.
The lingering farts that you get after.
Yeah. Got a little trail of farts.
Yeah. There's always that last one. You're like, I didn't. Sorry.
Didn't expect that one.
I got some comments from our listeners from our Facebook group, Talking Our Nation, about this episode. Ron Hans says the last 10 minutes of this was great. Like, wow, great. And then Another wow comment. Jess Rivera said, killing Mobius was a perfect spot for an Owen Wilson wow. Wouldn't that have been hilarious? He gets pruned and he's just like, oh, wow. He just gets pruned.
Owen Wilson has been a very pleasant surprise for me in this show. I like him a lot.
He is great. Their chemistry is great. And you feel for him, and like
I always kind of like Owen Wilson, but I'm never like, man, I want to see Owen Wilson again. And then I see him, I'm like, man, he's good.
He's fan, he fits in perfectly. I love his chemistry with everyone.
And like he's just got his nose. It's just an interesting face.
Yeah. I kind of even like the little mustache and the blonde hair. Like it's a good look. It's not bad. I might rock
That's
that.
like great. I like he has like the browns. I like the whole
silver
look.
and the dark mustache. Yeah, it's not bad. Steve Lee says, so if we are assuming that that's New York, he's talking about the end, is there any chance that they are in a universe in which Loki succeeded in a global/galactic success? I don't think there's enough time, but what if a variant Loki that succeeded is the big bad behind everything, created the TVA, never became a good guy, and now all the other Loki variants need to stop him? I like that. It could go there. I wouldn't be mad. Loki's stopping the main Loki versus a bunch of Lokis.
I think that's where they're going. I think they're going. There's an evil Loki. I just don't see. I mean, Kang is possible, but I don't think they reveal Kang yet in this show.
No, that's what
I think it's just so early.
I feel like what happens at the end of the show is the thing that will alert Kang down the line.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
You know, but Loki's created this whole TVA and this whole bureaucracy and this whole thing. Like that's crazy huge that he just fucking has been lying to these people for how long? We need answers. I need answers. Yeah. And then Jess Rivera comments, Imran, you love a conspiracy theory. What do you think of this one? He posted this meme from the internet, and this guy says, I may be reading into things a little too much, probably, but was wondering if Disney did this on purpose. Did anyone else see the resemblance between the timekeeper's symbol, the lasers behind them, and the hand motion for the time stone that Doctor Strange does? I'm not a comic reader, so wasn't sure if there was a correlation or not. So, you know that little movement he does with his fingers and that diamond? It looks like the fucking background. I think it's on purpose.
It's a nice catch, but I think you can drive yourself nuts with these things. I don't think it's really something.
And we've found in the past that we get burned on every fucking thing that we think is a thing. It's not a thing.
The one that reminds me the most is Screen Crush just went nuts with the hexagons being a thing in WandaVision, and it ended up being like nothing at all. The hexagons were just, they're hexes, but it was like nothing else.
I think there's some hexagons in this show here and there, but it doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can find some hexagons.
It's a shape that exists. They're fucking hexagons. It's just gonna be, there's a shape. It's not proprietary. I don't know. Okay, now, Anthony, get excited, you guys. And Blake, I got some sports news we can discuss because David Zika shared a link to the story of the headline is Sha'Carri Richardson suspended for positive marijuana test, barred from signature race at Tokyo Olympics. And David Zika put this comment, why is weed a banned substance? He says in Allen Iverson voice. Can someone do that? What would that sound like?
Weed?
In Allen Iverson?
Weed? Yeah. We're talking about weed.
Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
Okay, that's good.
I gotta tread carefully here. I work
talking about weed.
CIA.
So he says, we talk about weed, not a steroid, not an athletic performance enhancer, not something to make people run faster. Weed! This actually prompted an amazing discussion in the Facebook group. It was fascinating because I have initial reaction. And first of all, the fucking Olympics are happening. Has nobody been talking about this? They're going to do it this month, even though the Japanese people, I think, don't want the Olympics. The fucking Olympics are happening.
A lot of them don't know.
So that's crazy. I'm going to watch. I can't wait.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But Anthony, let me get your thoughts first, because initially my gut reaction is, and it's the comment that's the running joke that everyone said is, I am impressed she can run Olympic speeds as a weed smoker, right? Good for her. They should give her a medal for that. To me, it's not a performance enhancing drug, so I don't understand the problem, but it's not that cut and dry. What are your thoughts on this, Anthony?
I think it's a joke. I think the Olympics, Olympic testing in general is, I think it's a joke. I think everything about drug testing in sports is all a sham. I think it makes things marginally better, but the illusion that everyone is clean because of this, and that the intent to make things clean is working is not. And drugs are always going to be in sports. And weed, come on, give me a break. I can see how weed could dull your senses and potentially make you less nervous for something, and I guess that could be performance enhancing. But on the list of things that we should be looking for in athletes, we would be near the bottom.
I mean, if you're using it for recovery, do they ban aspirin and coffee? It's pretty much the same thing. Blake, though, you had an interesting comment that was fascinating in response to this. Let's talk about that. What was your statement?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have to try to look carefully here. So
of course, you're NCAA coach. We understand, listeners. Don't worry, nobody listens to this. You're fine. They don't listen.
So the core concept behind still having marijuana on the banned substances list, it really deals with just one simple fact that yes, marijuana is great for anxiety, depression, things that I guess can help you out. There are a ton of benefits to it, and maybe more benefits than taking a hard prescription substance. The problem is the NCAA, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, just a lot of they've done rigorous tests and studies, and these studies get published, and one of the studies showed that within a performance athlete, a sprinter, so like swimming or track or any sort of field that uses those fast twitch muscles to get a reaction time really quick off of a block or off of a, for a start. Actually, it increases your heart rate, and I don't know the percentage, but it actually showed that having some sort of THC or marijuana in your system actually increased your heart rate. And as an athlete or a sprinter, as a coach that knows what you need to do for a sprinter, your goal is to get your heart rate to a very high level to start. That way you get your blood flow going, you get your muscles a little bit more loose, and your muscles are a little bit more prepared, and you can get those reflexes going a little bit more, believe it or not, if you have a little bit of marijuana in your system. So that's the problem, is they're not weighing the benefits and the negatives here.
Right.
They're
It's
just saying, this one thing. Yeah, exactly. This one thing can help these athletes, supposedly, but we're not going to take into account the 50 things that it actually does.
That's interesting, because it didn't occur to me, and to get that edge off the block is interesting. And I will tell you, in some, look, there's different strains. It's a depressant. You use it to relax, but you also use it in creative uses. And in some people, some strains, it actually, yes, it does increase your heart rate. And I did not even think about that. But if you're going to ban one thing, either ban everything or let them just take everything.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say that I think it's a little bit more nuanced. I'm not saying like athletes should be able to take everything. I'm just saying it's not going away.
Yeah,
like and the arguments that are made against like steroids and like a lot of these things are like, oh man, like it's so bad for you. It's gonna be like bad for your health, and it's like. Actually, like there are things that are legal that are worse for your health than steroids. So like, the whole thing is just kind of a sham. It's an abject failure. Everything about drug testing in sports is an illusion. It's not really. Nothing about it is actually. Nothing is level.
Yeah.
Is it just control?
At the highest levels, nothing is level.
Do they just want to control things? Is that where this all comes from?
It's just because there's such a pronounced. Like humans in general, just they hate cheaters, right? So anything that's like considered cheating, is so despised that like, oh, like we're not seeing the most purest thing, but you're never going to
get pure versus pure. Like that's almost impossible.
So it's just something silly like this. I'm just like,
you know where it would be funny to ban weed? A fucking Fish concert. Get those fuckers to play sober. You'll be like, this is garbage. What is this?
I don't think they're taking just weed at those concerts.
Oh, well, other things too.
And you also have to take into account that this is an international event. That I mean, I am in agreement that I believe it should be legal in majority of athletics. Now, obviously, like alcohol is banned from all shooting events. Obviously. It should be something like that, where it should be individualized by the sport.
That's interesting. Yeah, I could be down with that.
This is an international event, so they have to go by the international policy, and there are a lot of countries that are very harsh.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Arab countries, they'll cut your head off, and your hands, and your pee-pee.
So you have to take that into account too. If she tested positive in another country, then it becomes a little bit more.
Oh, there's more legal issues there. Also.
Yes, so I just have to abide by that kind of.
I feel
rule.
bad for Richardson. It's a shitty reason not to be able to, especially since if you've been waiting since last year and trying to stay in shape because you're like, fuck, I gotta be ready for another year now. That's hard.
It was a great story too. Like 5 years ago, she finished 6th in the 100 meters.
Wow.
And 5 years later, man, she like dedicated 5 years to basically going from last in the finals to winning. Like she had a great chance to win.
Oh shit! So she was got the momentum.
It sucks. I mean, she's
now she might still be able to compete in a relay.
Oh, okay.
Because
I was gonna say 4 years is a tough time to wait for another. I don't know if she'll be the same athlete in 4 years or 3 actually. Because
I've been following kind of like the gymnastics and the Simone Biles thing because everybody's talking about her. But again, she is going up in age for a gymnast, and she's like, I got to fucking work another year, and I'm getting old, and I don't recover as fast. But the clips of her, they look amazing. This gymnastics team looks like it's gonna kill.
Yeah, when you have moves named after you, that's how good you are.
There you go. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
And then the other guy we have to congratulate is, of course, the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest 2021 winner.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Repeating defending world champion Joey Chestnut. Congratulations. Broke his own world record this past Sunday, eating 76 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes.
Oh, shit.
This is the 14th time he has won the title in the last 15 years. He ate 26 more than the second place guy and one more than he did last year. Congratulations, Joey Chestnut. You make America proud. Something to look forward to. That's a sport.
Could not be more disgusted at someone's talent.
This is a sport I could get. Ew, they dip it in water and just slide it down their throat. That's a lot.
How does that come out?
Dude, oh God. I don't know. Where do you have room for 76 hot dogs in your stomach in 10 fucking minutes?
I'm pretty sure they like vomit right afterwards.
Oh, probably. I think
I watched the document, not the, what was it? The I'm a competitive eater, Kobayashi.
Yeah.
A while
that
back.
guy is crazy.
Yeah, that guy was nuts. And this guy just destroys Kobayashi. I mean, Kobayashi's not even a thing.
These guys are like, they're not huge people. They're just like normal size. And I'm like, where? They have to puke it out.
Where does it go?
Where does it go? Do you train your throat just to open up and accept anything?
And like, if we want to really get into this, when Kobayashi was a competitive eater, like, he would eat the way he would eat. It was almost like he was a conveyor belt.
Yeah, machine.
Right?
He's a machine.
He was just a machine. But Joey Chestnut, I'm watching him right now. He just motherfucking stuffs the food in his mouth.
It's like having a seizure.
It's not even like.
Does he chew? It's
not all that elegant.
No. You can't be elegant if you want to win this thing. It's not about elegance or grace, which is why I love the sport.
Well, Kobayashi brought some art to it. He looked good doing it.
I remember the stories of Kobayashi. Like, he's the man with 2 stomachs and.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Like, my God.
They were saying like he had like an enlarged stomach or something going on.
Can you like surgically do that? He's like a human goat, the fucking guy.
Well, Chestnut's just destroyed.
Multiple stomachs.
I don't know if this might be complete hearsay, but I thought like I read that like Kobayashi after like losing when like got on drugs or something. I don't know.
Like gained weight
I'm
or something.
potentially making all of this up.
It's a rough life.
Like he went into depression.
Competitive eating is a rough industry, man.
He like tried to. There's definitely a time where he tried to freaking rush the Nathan's hot dog eating thing, and he got like stopped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that.
Well, because they wouldn't let him compete because he kept winning or something. Yeah, he's a ringer. He's a fucking ringer, Kobayashi. Somebody should look up and see what he's doing. No, I want to know what he's been up to.
I looked up Kobayashi on Wikipedia. Bad call. There's a lot of Kobayashis.
God, yeah. There's the Kobayashi Maru. Isn't that the Star Trek thing?
Yeah.
There's so many
You're gonna get that.
Kobayashis.
Kobayashi is like Steve over there. Come on. It's like Imran in Pakistan.
Did you see the graphic that triggered everyone on Twitter? The one that showed that he has more world championships than Bill Russell and Rafael Nadal. And
14th time.
14. He's got the most world championships out of anybody in sports. And people were so triggered.
He's a dude. Jordan has nothing on him. Michael Jordan. Yeah. Is it a sport? It's not in the Olympics yet. They added some silly sport this year. I forget what it is. It's going to be part of the Olympics.
They had about 6 or 7 sports.
Yeah, they added some. So it'll be a fun watch and see how this thing plays out.
I'm just looking at Kobayashi now. You want to hear some of his world records?
Sure.
Well, obviously the hot dog thing, it's not there anymore, but he ate 150 rice balls, 20 pounds in 30 minutes.
God.
13 grilled cheese sandwiches in 1 minute.
In 1 minute?
337 buffalo wings in 30 minutes.
Holy shit.
41 lobster rolls in 10 minutes.
Oh, God, all that lobster in 10 minutes?
57 cow brains, 17.7 pounds in 15 minutes.
Cow brain is like scrambled eggs. I've had that.
93 hamburgers in 8. 159 tacos in 10.
Jesus.
62 slices of pizza in 12.
So he holds all these records still.
I don't know if he still holds them. I'm just reading his stat list. 11.92 pounds of chicken satay. 1 cheesesteak in 24 seconds.
24 seconds.
21.3 pounds of soba noodles in 12 minutes.
I can't get my mind around the rice. That's
because that just instantly inflates in your stomach.
That instantly inflates. Let me look up Joey Chestnut, see what he's got.
Pigeons explode when you feed them.
He's
rice.
got a lot of shit going on here. This is too much to read.
The lemonade chugging contest right after this year? They had an inaugural a chugging contest this year. Yeah.
I'm reading Joey Chestnut. He's got a lot. His list is much longer. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but one that sticks out: 15 bowls, 1.875 gallons of gumbo in 8 minutes.
In 8 minutes, over a gallon of gumbo. Ugh.
28 pounds of poutine in 10 minutes.
God.
32 Big Macs in 38 minutes.
These people's shits have to be the worst fucking shit you've ever seen.
Well, they don't just do hot dogs. Like, hot dogs is like the main one here in America, but they do all sorts of different competitive.
Yeah, I mean, there's like pie eating contests and all these other.
I mean, his list here is crazy.
Can I find the lifespan of a competitive eater? I mean, it can't be long.
How much cholesterol is stuck in their
5
fucking
years.
veins?
Your liver explodes.
And their arteries.
This is true American sports at work. It's great. It's a great sport. Okay, let's finish up with some. What are we watching, Anthony? What are you watching? Are you watching anything? When did you watch?
I'm trying to think. No,
nothing.
NBA Finals.
Okay, that's good.
There we go.
Good stuff. Exciting. Is it exciting or is it boring?
Hasn't started yet.
Hasn't started.
So it's exciting.
The conference, the Western Finals. Western Eastern Finals. They were good.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries this year in the NBA, though. So.
Damn, so many
kind
injuries.
of a tough playoffs to watch because you're not seeing the best players.
I saw that one dude bend his leg the other way.
Oh,
yeah, and he didn't actually tear anything in his knee, which is unbelievable. He might play in the finals.
That looked nasty. I was like, I can't look at that.
That was bad.
That's literally a Greek freak.
Should not be bending that way. Well, look, Anthony, briefly, Blake and I will talk about the big sci-fi Chris Pratt movie that's burning up the fucking streamings on Amazon. The Tomorrow War.
Yeah, let's go.
Which we both talked about. Now, we can talk about it briefly here, but we did record some our instant thoughts before Anthony got here, so that'll be on the Patreon, listener. Me and Blake talking about the Tomorrow War on Amazon. So this movie currently is 53% tomato meter. And, I still read the Roger Ebert reviews, whoever reviews for Ebert. I know it's not Ebert, obviously, but they gave it 1.5 stars out of 4. But I will tell you, Blake, I kind of dug it. I didn't think it was 1.5 star, and the movie is derivative of every science fiction movie you've seen, from like Terminator to Aliens to Edge of Tomorrow to Tenet, time travel, all that. Chris Pratt. Maybe not the most charismatic guy. He's kind of the same bland action guy that he is in every movie. And parts of it predictable, but it was fun, and it did some things that I liked, and J.K. Simmons was fun. What would you say? Would you recommend this? What'd you think of this movie, Blake?
Yeah, it's entertaining, and I think that's the big takeaway is, it's a good way to. It is long.
It's over 2 hours long.
Yeah, it is a good way if you've got 2 hours, you could turn it on in the background, and it's something just to kind of have on your screen and watch. It's better than Infinite.
It is definitely better than fucking Mark Wahlberg's Infinite. That's for sure.
But I thought the concept of going forward into the future to fight a war, it's a cool concept. I like the idea. I just don't like the preachy bits about the environment and the politics. It gets a little bit too much for me, but I thought the story was fine. I thought J.K. Simmons, you're right. J.K. Simmons was awesome. Sam Richardson was great.
He was great as Charlie.
He had some great comic bits, but I think you really could have placed anybody into that Chris Pratt role, and it would have been the same movie. Yeah.
Anthony, you find Chris Pratt a little generic-y. I mean, he does shine as Star-Lord under James Gunn's direction, but we've seen him be the same guy in fucking Jurassic Park. And he's literally the same guy. He's just this
same person,
generic dude
Really?
in this movie.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen him in too much other than the Marvel stuff and Jurassic World. That being said, yeah, I mean, he kind of is playing the same guy, but there's actors that do that. Keanu Reeves is the same guy in every movie he's in.
That's true, and he works best when he doesn't have any lines also.
Yeah, I think Chris Pratt is charismatic, though, and I think he's got a screen presence.
He's a draw. I was telling Blake, that movie came up, and I was with my wife, and she doesn't watch sci-fi movies, and I was like, I'm going to watch this. And she goes, Chris Pratt. Everybody knows Chris Pratt. He's become a draw to where, Chris Pratt's in the movie. Yeah, I'll throw it on. I'll watch. So... it's about the war 30 years in the future. Aliens invade and the U.S. comes back. The world has to come together, bring soldiers from the past to fight this war. So the whole concept of the government setting up this kind of makeshift system for how to recruit people was interesting. The time travel loop theory that they use I thought was interesting. Some of the things don't make sense, and the end of it ends just like fucking Aliens. Like every science fiction movie, but I would say give it a watch if you have some time. It's not the worst thing. I give it a 6 out of 10, probably.
So it's not that bad, huh?
It's not that bad. What would you give it, Blake?
Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5 on.
There you go. That's a 6
online, but yeah. Bilotti, let's we can have you can rant on the group page, the Jock and Nerd Nation, or you can call in to. Plug your rant on this movie. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, Bilotti wanted to know if we were reviewing it because he's dying to rant about this, which is going to be amazing. So somehow we'll get a Bilotti rant about the Tomorrow War. But it's pretty buzzy. It's this movie. They're promoting it hard. I feel like it's done good visually. The effects are all right. The alien design is okay. They're kind of like dogs and lions and with tentacles. It's all right. It's not bad. There's some good parts and some predictable parts. So for what
concept's a good idea.
Yeah. I also randomly binged the whole season of this Netflix show called Blown Away, which is not a show about fellatio.
Oh, shit.
That's what I thought it was. It's not. It's about glass blowing. It's a reality show, but it's fucking fascinating. Glass blowing is crazy, and it was fun to watch these people blow. So check that out if you're into glass blowing. Out this week, a couple of things you guys can check out. The movie Raya and the Last Dragon, the Disney animated movie, is now available to all Disney subscribers. It was Premiere Access, came out in the theaters. This movie is 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. I heard actually that the action is very good, and I might give it a watch now that it's open and available. Another thing to watch for on Disney Plus, The Simpsons. Now that Disney owns the fucking Fox and The Simpsons and Marvel and Star Wars, they can just smush things together, and they're starting to do that with The Simpsons. There's going to be a short out on the day this show comes out, Wednesday, July 7th on Disney Plus, called The Good, the Bart, and the Loki.
Geek Boner.
And Tom Hiddleston is providing the voice of Loki, and it's a Marvel-themed short from The Simpsons that's now owned by Disney. So I guess that's a good thing that they can mush all these things together. It's also weird.
Yeah, they're just going to milk these IPs dry.
Oh, my God. They're going to smush everything. It'll be Simpsons versions of everything. And then the last thing, if you are a fan of DC live-action properties and Tiddens, Tiddens Season 3, HBO Max, Monday, July 12th. I don't know if they're doing a couple episodes or it comes out once a week. But I'm going to watch that shitty show because I watched the first two, and it got a little bit better. And I want to see how they deal with this Jason Todd fucking Red Hood bullshit happening really fast.
Yeah, they're going to do that really fast, aren't they? I'm going to watch it, but I won't like it.
Yeah, what'd you think of the first two seasons of Tiddens?
Oh, they weren't great. The first one.
Tell us what you really think.
The first one was bad. I thought the first season was really bad.
This bad.
It did progress a little bit, but it didn't really move the meter too much for me.
Do you like any of those shows that they've put on?
Doom Patrol's okay.
I love Doom Patrol. It's fucking
Doom
great.
Patrol's okay. What do you consider in that genre? Harley Quinn, the animated series, is that considered in there?
Definitely. Harley Quinn is one of them, and that's probably the best, but it's not live action. Yep. Stargirl is not bad.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Luke Wilson is in that one.
Okay.
So he's good in that. And Swamp Thing was okay, but they canceled it and it wasn't able to finish.
Wait, is Stargirl part of that like Berlanti verse, that CW verse, or is that?
Well,
that's
it's like in between. It is a Berlanti show, but it premiered on the DC Universe app, and now it's on HBO Max. But it's actually a good Berlanti show. Also, like Superman and Lois is very good.
I watched the first episode and I completely forgot about it, but it was good. The first episode was really good that I watched.
It's a good show. Keep watching. Anything else? That's good. Anthony, any final comments you want to get out?
Make sure when you guys do ever get onto a podcast to make sure you prep for the podcast.
Don't be an Anthony. Don't be a jock.
Don't do what I do and come in blind and then send emails throughout the entire show.
How's that bachelor party? It's going to be dope. You hooking it up?
Should be good.
Oh, it's going to be fire.
Austin is a great place. Austin, Texas.
That's more important than this bullshit anyways. You need to hook that shit up. Blake, you want to plug anything? Thank you so much for hanging out. I loved having you here.
Really. I don't have much to plug right now. Sorry, I totally cut you off. I did a reverse there.
That's good. I deserve that.
He needs to be cut off sometimes.
So that's what that feels like.
So sorry about that.
No, dude, you are a great fill-in, and I just love having you on the show, and thank you for your support. When did you start listening? What was the first, do you remember? What was the first episode you listened to?
Yeah, so I actually, I was driving to Florida from Southern Indiana. It was like a 12-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I was on Spotify, and I was just randomly looking. I think I typed in like comic book podcast or comic book in just the search bar, and you guys came up. You're like third on the list, and it was like the WTF of Spider-Man 3.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Wow.
I think that's the first one I listened to was the What the Fuck of Spider-Man 3, and that kind of got me hooked.
That was the first chapter. We've done 15. We're going to do another one soon. I can't thank you enough for all the posting, for the patronage, for just being a fucking downright good dude and being part of the community.
You're awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm on for the long haul. However long you guys do this, I'll be here.
Fuck yeah, we got Blake as long as we go. We got one.
Got one, no matter what.
For sure. Thanks for listening, listener. Check out the website for links to everything, all the bullshit we talked about. Share the show, text it to a buddy, post it in your Facebook groups, whatever. We'd appreciate it. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the Nerd.
We will peep you next time.
Be more funny.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
Fuck that show.
All right.
Jock and Nerd.